It's time for The Local with your host and realtor, Katie McKinney.
Guys, it's Katie, and today I've got Clint White on the phone. I know it's during the COVID still right now, so we're trying to do the social distancing thing. So Clint, thank you so much for joining in this crazy time that we've got going on.
Well, thank you for inviting me.
Yes.
I appreciate what you're doing and enjoy listening to these podcasts each week.
Awesome. Well, I'm happy you're listening in as well. Clint, tell us a little bit about yourself. Obviously, there's a reason why I have asked you to be on this podcast. Where are you from, and how did you get to Woodward?
Well, I was born and raised here in Woodward County, and I grew up on a family farm just west of Sharon, and I graduated from Sharon Mutual High School and went on to college at Weatherford, and I graduated with a degree in business administration from Southwestern Oklahoma State, and lived there for a few years. We got married to Lexi, and we have 3 children. We
Adorable.
moved back here to Woodward about several years ago and started our family here, and been here ever since.
Excellent. You said you had your degree in business administration?
Yes.
Awesome. And is it helping you in what you're doing now? Can you tell us a little bit about what you do now? Obviously, you're an insurance provider of sorts. Well, you do a lot of different things, but that's one main thing.
Correct, yes. I started out in the banking industry right out of high school. I actually served an internship at what was known at the time First American Bank, which is now Great Plains Bank here in Woodward.
Yes.
And worked there a whole summer. And then when I went to college, I kind of decided I wanted to continue that and worked in a local bank down there. I majored in finance, and while I was there, I met an insurance agent and decided to go into the insurance industry and got licensed and worked doing that while I was in college, and then graduated and decided that I was going to continue the career in the insurance industry, and I really enjoyed it. And it's been, the relationships that you get to have in this industry, which I'm sure you can relate to being in real estate.
Very much so.
It's a very rewarding career in that aspect.
Yeah, of course. And what company do you own? Or I guess, I don't know, is it like a franchise type of thing, or is it just actually like your company? You know how real estate have franchise, brokerage franchises. Is it very similar in insurance?
We are not captive, so we're an independent agency.
Excellent.
Our office here in Woodward, and we have a sister office in Sapulpa that I manage both. And
cool. I didn't know that.
But yeah, we do all types of insurance, and while I've been here in Woodward, I really got involved in the community with the chamber and so forth, and I've really enjoyed being here and look forward to raising my family here for years to come.
Excellent. Well, I knew you were kind of a local guy, and you've got a lot of family around here too, and of course Lexi and your adorable kiddos too, I might add. Just thankful that you guys are here. Now, obviously, there's another reason why I've got you on the podcast today, and it's because you're running for an office, a public office. Can you tell us a little bit about that decision to run for public office and which office that is?
Yes, so I am running for County Commissioner District 2 here in Woodward County, and I kind of started out about 2 years ago. The city and the chamber put together what they call Leadership Woodward, and it's a group that I think there's about 12 or 14 of us that they had in a group, and we got to spend from August through about May each month getting together, looking at our local economy, looking at our local governments, whether it's school, city, county, even we spent a day at the state capitol. And I really became, intrigued in, our county government and how it works. And I got to see so much potential that Woodward County has itself, with what we have here. And I, prayed about it, and I felt like I could bring some new energy, a new fresh set of eyes to the budget process, and really feel like there's so much potential for our citizens, and I look at my children, and I decided, this is something I felt like I could help our county.
Yeah. Oh, most definitely. I mean, that's really neat. And can you kind of tell me, you said District 2, obviously. Where is that? Because there's some people, like me, for example, when I moved here, I didn't know what district was which. So what is District 2? I know that's kind of hard to say just verbally rather than being able to show, but what direction is that from Woodward itself?
Okay, so they divide each county in Oklahoma into 3 districts. And they kind of do that by population. So if you look at the district on the map, it's very confusing.
Yeah,
there's a large section of Woodward that's in the district, and then in the rural area is Sharon and Mutual areas.
Okay,
and so that's the district that I would be running for. The election's on June 30th.
June 30th.
And
right? June, did I hear you right? June 30th?
Yes.
Okay, awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. And it's still happening as far as we know because, obviously there's been so many things canceled, but we should be in the clear hopefully by then to do in-person voting. Is that your understanding?
Yes, that is my understanding. However, working, during this period of time, I would encourage, especially our older population,
right,
to reach out and maybe request the absentee ballots. Many of them may not feel comfortable going to the polls, and I would encourage them to do that. And then also there's early voting. So if you wanted to go where there was maybe less people, the courthouse will be open
for that
June 25th, 26th, and 27th. For that.
That's excellent. I didn't know about the early voting option for this specific election, so that's excellent. I know, there's a few platforms that you're running on, not just running on, but believe in, and I feel like that's what most people who run for public office, it's obviously not for yourself, it's for the future, for your kids' future, for, different things, but also for platforms. And, I had heard you talk about, I think it was at a Chamber of Commerce luncheon when you first announced, and it was about diversifying the economy here in Woodward County, Northwest Oklahoma specifically, but what's your take on that? Because I feel like that is, I talk to a lot of different people about diversifying, and obviously right now, especially, it's as important as ever to diversify. What's your take on that, I guess?
Yeah, I completely agree, and that's primarily one of the major reasons why I decided to run for our office. Woodward and our surrounding area is primarily driven by the oil field industry, and that's something that will always be here and something that we need to continue to support and grow. But we also need to look at additional industries that can come in and help, support our economy when things are down. I believe the last time I looked, the price of oil right now is $23 a barrel, and for a lot of our companies that are local-owned companies here, it's really hard for them to have a margin when the price of oil is so cheap.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of our employees, work in those industries, and so as the revenues on their employers are decreased, that really takes an impact. And then now, when I made my announcement back in February,
right,
before this COVID-19 thing, the vision that I have for our county is even more important. We've had several businesses that were closed for multiple weeks. So many people have lost their jobs or reduced their income, and so it's a real hard time, economically for our county, and we need to have smart leadership to be on the road to recovery after this is gone. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I agree with you 100%, and obviously this isn't necessarily a political podcast on one way or the other, but the truth of the matter is diversification is never a negative thing when it comes to an economy. just as, any business person is, most business people are, they diversify their income in certain ways. And a lot of it's different industries, whether it's, for real estate, they've got, maybe a business person has got a land investment or a commercial office investment or a residential rental investment. So you have all these different, and it may not even be in real estate. It might be in something completely different, stock market or whatever you decide to do. But diversification is always a good thing when it comes to business, in my opinion, for income. And so I really agreed with you whenever you kind of made your announcement and talked about diversification and really the future for Woodward. That's why I was so intrigued to talk with you today. Obviously, we've got the election coming up, and you are, obviously you're still going to run your insurance business, correct? Or can you? I don't even know if you can do that. I'm sure you can.
Well, I mean, a large majority of my time is going to be completely devoted to the county.
Right.
I have, 5 agents between our 2 offices that are going to continue running the business. Mm-hmm. And, my priority, is to work for the citizens of our county.
Right.
And I'm looking at this position as running it like a business.
Mm-hmm.
Our taxpayers that, pay taxes, are our customers.
Right.
And we need to put their interests first and do what we can, for them.
Mm-hmm.
And, when we talk about county finances and how we generate revenue, from a county standpoint, the majority of our income, comes from sales tax, and property taxes.
Mm-hmm.
And as we talk about diversifying and bringing new industries in, that's going to increase, the industrial tax base and our evaluations, which will help, all of our citizens. But right now, with our sales tax numbers, that's going to be really bad, not only on our city, but from a county standpoint.
Right.
And so it's going to be very important to be strategic on how we recover and what we can do to generate, sales tax as we're recovering.
Mm-hmm.
You look around Woodward, and you probably noticed this whenever you moved here, all the hotels that we have.
Oh, yeah.
And, that's something that a lot of communities don't have.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have a really good opportunity if we can, attract tourism to our area. We get sales tax revenue from all the hotels. And we, most of the time when you see people in hotels, they're eating at our local restaurants.
Yeah.
And so if we can just work together with all these different things that we have already, we can really improve, our county and attract new industries to come here.
Yes, I agree. And I feel like it's obviously very important to have this, but between the county and the city officials, it seems like there's a pretty good general consensus, with Rachel Van Horn and, Alan and different people from all different, Bailey at the event center and different people from different organizations or parts of our local government. They're all in agreement for the most part that obviously tourism could be a great thing. And it is funny because usually when I give community tours, somebody's thinking about moving to the Woodward area, and I give them a tour, kind of show them the highlights of Woodward. This is what we have to offer. I go take them by Crystal Beach, and I take them by the event center, conference center, High Plains. Just all the different things, schools and everything. And, one of the things that most everybody mentions or comments on, and this happened pretty recently, is there are a lot of hotels here. And I go, I know. They said, well, why is it? We say, well, obviously, oil and gas industry, they require quite a few hotels. And, if they're temporary workers, and then, CF, they've got their turnaround, which creates a lot of need for that. But then you've got just the general wind energy, and then you've got the tourism part of it all. And so we have the facilities on as far as the hotel, and we've got great restaurants as well. And so I think that's something we can definitely explore with, but it sounds like everybody's kind of in agreement on that. So that's good to hear. I always like when people are kind of on the same pathway of maybe how we could diversify. That's good to hear.
You mentioned the High Plains Tech.
Yes.
I think a lot of people don't realize how beneficial that is to Northwest Oklahoma, and to have that right here in our backyard, is huge.
It is.
I know you interviewed a few weeks back a guy in the wind industry, and
yes,
just to see how the High Plains have developed a program where kids can start, in high school, and then right after high school to get certified to work in that industry. Just shows you how much potential that we have right here.
Yes.
If we can just work together and grow it, I definitely, believe there's a brighter future, for our county.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I had Katie Shirley on one of the first episodes, and she talked about how High Plains Tech used to be like the best kept secret, and they're not trying to be the best kept secret. And now they're really promoting it, and the business side, through the SBA or the the different not organizations, but types of certifications and education that they've got, training courses and that sort of thing. I mean, it sounds like they're wanting to put it out there too. So it's definitely a group effort, I would say. But either way, super exciting that we've got those things to kind of showcase, and that's really exciting. Kind of to finish up here, I just wanted to ask you one question that I ask everybody that's on the podcast, is what's one of your favorite things about being a business person here in Northwest Oklahoma?
I'd have to say the people. I worked, in Weatherford, and that's a great community, but it's not home.
Right.
And I just say the people and the relationship that you have. I mean, you really seen that this past month. The support of our community. Whether they were making masks or donating supplies to our healthcare workers. And the response, I don't know if you lived here when the tornado came through, but our community is real resilient.
Yeah.
And there's no doubt in my mind that we're going to be able to recover from, what's going on right now. And I just think to be able to live here, work here, have a business here, serve the citizens as a county commissioner, and raise my family here, is something that anybody, I think, would want to be able to raise their family here. It's a great community, and that's what I most enjoy about living here is our community.
That's excellent. Yeah, I didn't live here in 2012. I was actually in high school in Canadian, but came by here, and I just remember seeing in the news everyone banding together here in Northwest Oklahoma for the communities that were impacted, and our community obviously specifically. And I just think that that's a general thread that goes through all the years, is that Woodward people, Northwest Oklahoma people take care of each other. And so I'm happy to hear that from you as well. But I sure appreciate you being on the podcast and hearing a little bit more about you and your next adventure. Everybody go vote June 30th. And I believe there's going to be...
Yes, and they can visit my website for more information at voteclintwhite.com. And if they have any questions, I have a Facebook page. They can reach out to me. And
yard signs.
Correct.
Yeah. Yard signs they're everywhere, and his Facebook page is pretty active as well. So anything else to add, Clint?
No, thank
Okay.
you, and
Yes.
thank you for doing this for our community. I think there's a lot of great information, and I would encourage any of your listeners who just now listening to go back on your page and listen to your other episodes, because you have a lot of great beneficial information that you're doing, and thank you for that.
Well, I thank you. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll be talking to you soon.
Thanks, Katie.
Thank you.